Did you have to unexpectedly transition to remote work? There are events like pandemics or other unexpected personal or business changes. Maybe you're switching to remote work without the proper preparation, whether in terms of psychological readiness or getting your space ready or establishing agreements with your housemates. Today we are talking about adjusting to suddenly switching to remote work. This is Alan of remotecompass.com, where we talk about virtual teams, remote work productivity, tools, and more. So some changes might be unwanted, while other unexpected adjustments are surprisingly welcome. Like, for example, you'd have more time to spend with your family, more time to engage your hobbies, you cut commute hours, you save money on costs that are not going to be present if you tend to work at home. Some even find that the quarantine situation fits their normal lifestyle. Let us hear from Frank of CGWire.
There was this meme on internet when you discover that quarantine is your normal way of life or something like this. So we make fun of that, say, oh, we didn't notice much change.
All right, so maybe remote work matches your current needs, preferences, and fits your work systems, your culture, your tools, and all that kind of stuff. But it's not always rainbows and butterflies. Let us hear from Abhinav, who will share with us reasons why one will want to go back to the office situation.
What is the number one reason why you want to go back to office? If there is a reason, I think the number one reason is, how do we separate work from our life? Like, how do we put a big separation between that? And I asked the CEOs and the HR that what's the number one reason why do you want to move back to office? The answer comes connect. How do we build that connect so that we can build a strong, seamless culture?
All right, so Abhinav and the Peoplebox team have learned that individuals want to separate their work and life. Having an office situation helps you do that more easily, and team managers want to build stronger relationships that are, of course, easier to nurture if folks are co-located on a regular basis. So how do we manage when we have to switch to remote work, especially if we did not have the opportunity to plan? Let us hear again from Frank of CGWire.
What I notice is that when people switch to remote, especially when it's forced like now, they tend to want to reproduce the normal workspace, the physical workspace. And when you do remote, people, they don't like to have much interruptions or to put their webcam all the time.
Now let us hear from SaaS entrepreneur and automation expert Jimmy Rose, who will share with us a tip about his work from home setup.
One of the most underrated productivity things there is having a desktop computer. And that's a little bit contentious, I know, because everyone's working on laptops and things these days. But I can tell you the best productivity thing that I own is it's basically a gaming spec PC, but I do not game on my PC.
You want to create boundaries. You want to separate your work computer from your game console. Actually, Jimmy uses a gaming spec PC for work, but he doesn't game there in order to separate those different modes. Because when you mix them up, then it's harder to stay focused on what it is that you have to do, whether it's a certain type of leisure or doing a certain type of work. Now, not everyone has the luxury of space. Not everyone has a dedicated workroom and a dedicated game room or other dedicated spaces for certain activities. Check out our course on creating boundaries through creative ways down in the description. Jimmy also shares good communication practices that will make it easier to work remotely. Let's hear again from Jimmy.
Gathering things from your clients used to have an in-person aspect to it. I know some agencies would sit down with their clients and gather information, but now obviously they can't do that. So they can send a content snare request for the client to go and fill out everything. In a way, COVID has forced this stuff to happen, but it's all good process anyway. Everything that's happening now is pushing in the right direction.
Learn to communicate more responsibly, especially when working remotely. Complete your thoughts, send detailed notes, anticipate questions, and don't use your ability to ping others when you have a question as a reason for you not to communicate clearly. Also, you want to consider doing one-on-ones in order to foster relationships with your teammates. Let us hear again from Abhinav of Peoplebox.
When teams are not in office, when the employees don't have the luxury to just swivel their chair around and tell you that what's holding them back, or what's the issue they are facing, or if there's any reason why they're disengaged, there is nothing but a one-on-one meeting which gives them an opportunity to say that.
To expound, one-on-ones could replace your water cooler chats. And what makes them even better is they are planned, they are scheduled compared to the many little unexpected distractions throughout the day that breaks your flow. At this point, you might have switched to remote work for a while now. Maybe you're getting used to it. Maybe people at home are able to find their rhythm, find their space where they work, where they can have uninterrupted Zoom meetings. Either way, we want to enhance our ways of working while we have to work from home and don't have a choice otherwise. And even with more freedom, even if we are able to go back to the office, we want the option to keep on working remotely by having good, solid practices. Alrighty, let us wrap up with a number of takeaways. Number 1, do not take your office habits to the remote work situation because it's an opportunity to start fresh and optimize. Number 2, be a more responsible communicator. Complete your thoughts before sending a message, anticipate questions, avoid interrupting others. If it can be helped, you can batch your communication so folks can stay focused on their work. Number 3, if you can establish a separate home office, separate from your dining situation or kitchen situation, there are creative ways that can even help you design mixed-use spaces. But the point is, you have to use your physical environment to guide your focus on whether it's work mode or not. Number 4, schedule one-on-one conversations. This is your opportunity to talk about unexpected topics, to provide feedback, to share what's going on in your life, to become human, to build rapport, to share the vision. And finally, number 5, while right now maybe remote work is the only option for you, do not forget that in the long run, a hybrid approach where you can sometimes work in co-located in an office and then most of the week or most of the month working remotely, that's an option. Alrighty, this has been Alan of remotecompass.com. If this kind of topic supports your productivity, give this video a thumbs up to teach the YouTube algorithm on the type of conversation that's useful for you, and see you on the next one.